Good morning, students. Myself, Venkatesh, Department of CSC. Now, in this class, we are going to talk about virtual memory concept. In this virtual memory concept, in previous class, we have studied about what is virtual memory, how virtual memory will work, and what is demand paging, how the demand paging will work, and what is meant by page fault. And what are the various page replacement algorithms. In page replacement algorithms, mainly we will focus on first in first out page replacement algorithm, and next in this class we have to concentrate on remaining two algorithms, that is optimal and LRU. Okay, whereas in types of page replacement algorithms, first one is FIFO, in first out page replacement. What will happen is, whenever the CPU is demanding that particular page, that page is not available in the main memory, then we can call it as a page fault. That particular page we have to bring it from secondary to primary, and it has to be executed by the CPU. Okay, whereas in first come first out, the first page which is in the main memory, that page is replaced with the corresponding page. Okay, here whereas coming to optimal page replacement algorithm, here in optimal page replacement algorithm, this is one of the best page replacement algorithm because the lowest page faults. When compared to FIFO, here the page faults are very low. It replaces the page that will not be used for longest period of time. Okay, whenever there is a situation of replacing the page, we are going this optimal, we are going to replace the page that are used in longest period of time. Okay, the page which is used for longest period of time, that page we are going to replace. Okay, here this page replacement algorithm, it looks for the pages in future, whereas it is very difficult to implement. Also, user has taken this reference string. If the string are present in the main memory, then we will get less page fault. If these pages are not present in main memory, then we will get page faults more. Optimal page replacement is saying that we have to replace the page which is used later case. Later case in the sense longest time in the future, that page only we are going to replace. Okay, here one simple example is there. Here the reference, the CPU is demanding the page numbers are 7012030303212017, and the size of the frame is 3. Here 3 boxes is there now. 1 2 3 size of the frame is 3. Okay, first of all the CPU is demanding page number 7. The page number 7 is not available in the main memory, then we should load from secondary to primary, so it is a page fault. Okay, so we can in the first frame 7 is placed, so it is page fault. Again CPU is demanding page number 0. Again after 7 we have 0. This is also page fault. Why? Because initially main memory empty. Okay, CPU is demanding page number 0, where the page number 0 is secondary, from secondary to primary. Okay, if it is not in primary, then we can say it is page fault. Okay, so this is also one page fault. Next, CPU is demanding page number 1, so 1 is also not there, so this is also one page fault. Okay, so here 701, though the main memory is full, the main memory is full. Next, which page the CPU is demanding? The CPU is demanding page number 2. The CPU is demanding page number 2. Okay, here the concept is we have to replace the page number 2 with any one of the pages, either 701. What I am saying is, by using the optimal page replacement algorithm, we are going to replace the page which is longest in future. That means the page which is used later case, that is longest period, that page we are going to replace. Okay, from here, from 2 onwards, we have to check the from right hand side. Okay, longest in future is 0. Okay, 0 is there. Next one is 3. 3 is not there. We have to replace 0. Okay, But we have to check one more thing is 3 is not there, again 0 is there, 4 is not there, again 2, like that. If you check from 2 to right hand side, see here last we have page number 7. Okay, last we have page number 7. So page number 7 is the longest in future, so we have to replace the page number 7 with 2, page number 7 with 2. So now it is also a page fault. Okay, so it is 201. Okay, next page number, the CPU is demanding page number 0, the CPU is demanding page number 0. So page number 0 is there na, so it is page hit. Why? Because 201, so it is page hit. Okay, next the CPU is demanding page number 3. Okay, page number 3 is there na, no. Okay, so it is also page fault. Okay, we have to replace the page number 3 with any one of 201. So which page we have to replace? Okay, among the 201, the page which is used longest period. Okay, if you see, simply we will go from that particular page to right hand side, or we will come from end of the frame. Okay, 7, see end of the frame is end of the page is 7, 7 is not there. So next one is 1 is there. Okay, here page number 1 is there. Okay, so here we have page number 1, that is 201. Okay, so 1 is the longest in future, we have to replace 3 with 1, 3 with 1, so we have 203. Okay, so it is also a page fault. Again 0, next page is 0. Okay, here 0 is there na, 203, so it is page hit. So next one is 4, so we have to replace, 4 is not there. Why? Because here in the main memory we have 203 only, we have to CPU is demanding page number 4. Okay, so in which page we are going to replace? From last onwards you have to check. Okay, we have to replace 4 with either 203. Okay, see last we have 7, it is not there, 1 it is not there, 0 it is there na. So longest page in future is 0. Okay, we have to replace 0 with 4, that is 243. Again next one is 2. Okay, next is CPU is demanding 2, so 2 is there na, so it is hit. Next one 3, 3 is there na, so 3 is there, it is hit. Okay, at the same time next CPU is demanding 0, but in the main memory we have 243. So here what will happen? Page fault. Here what will happen? Page fault. We have to replace the page 0 with any one of 243. Okay, if you see last, from last onwards, here what will happen? 7 is not there. Okay, 7 is not there, 1 is not there. Okay, we have to replace 0 with 4. Okay, here in this case what happened? It is not there na, in longest feature, so we have to replace with 0. Again page number 3, page number 3 is already there na, so it is hit. Page number 2, it is also hit. Okay, so in this way we are going to implement the optimal page replacement algorithm. Okay, that means the page which is used in future, that page only we are going to replace. Okay, here in this one also same thing. In here below example also, the CPU is demanding the following pages, but the frame size is 3 frames. Okay, same example here 17, finally 1701. Okay, here only one there is 17 only. In previous example 17, here extra we have 01. Okay, here we are going to calculate the number of page faults and page hits. In the first example we have page faults are 1, 2, 3 star, all star marks are page faults. Here hits are already mentioned. Okay, so this is the concept of optimal page replacement. So next one is least recently used. Okay, in this one we are going to use the page which are least recently used. Okay, whenever the CPU is demanding that particular page, if that particular page is not available in the main memory, then which page we are going to replace is the page which is recently used. That page only we are going to replace. In this page which has not been used for the longest time in memory, that one which is be selected for replacement. It is like optimal replacement algorithm looking backward in time. time, we can say. The prediction behind LRU, that is least recently used, and algorithm is that the page that has not been used in the longest time is the one that will not be used again in the near future. Okay, whereas in least recently used, some view of least recently used and analogous to optimal page replacement, except looking forward backward in time instead of forward. Okay, here in this one we are going to instead of forward we are going to look backward. So if you see one example here is, here the CPU is demanding page number 701203 0423 03120, like that. The size of the frame is 3. Okay, initially CPU is demanding page number 7, so 7 is not there, so 7 is, we can say it is a page fault. Again 0 is not there, again 0 is in the, we are going to demanding from secondary to primary, that is also page fault. Again 1 is there now, 1 is not there, so 1 is also page fault. Okay, now we are going to replace the again next CPU is demanding page number 2, CPU is demanding page number 2. Okay, we have to replace the page number 2 with either 701. Okay, that means we are going to replace the 2 with 701. Okay, here what will happen is we are going to replace the from 2 onwards we have to check backward, that is we have to replace 7 with 2. Why? Because here 1 is recently used, again 0 is also recently used, most recently. Here 1 is most recently, 0 is most recently. Again here 7 is least recently. Okay, so 7 is the least recently used, so we are going to replace 7 with 2. Okay, so it is also page fault. Okay, here again CPU is demanding page number 0, CPU is demanding page number 0, so 201, so it is page hit. So again we have to, CPU is demanding page number 3, CPU is demanding page number 3. Okay, we have to replace page number 3 with any one of 201. Here the least recently used one is, so 0 is most recently, so 2 is most recently, again 1 is least recently, so we are going to replace 3 with 1, that is so 203. Again we have CPU is demanding 0, CPU is demanding 0, so we have to so here in this 0 case already 0 is there now, so it is page hit. So next CPU is demanding 4, we have to replace the page number 4 with any one of 203. Okay, so from here 2 is the we have to check from the left hand side, from that place to left hand. Here 2 is the least recently. Okay, here we have to insert 4, 0 is the most recently, so 0 is available but most recently. Again here what will happen is 3 is not there, so 0 is available but most recently. Here 2 is there least recently, so we have to replace 4 in place of 2, that is here what will happen, 403. Okay, here this is also page fault. Okay, like that we are going to performing the least recently used algorithm. In least recently used algorithm we are going to replace the page which is least recently used. Okay, so here if you see, after completion of 3 frames 701, next page is 2, here next page is 2. If we want to insert, replace the page 2 with 701. Okay, which in this least recently used technique, from 2 to left hand side 1 is there. Okay, see already we have to replace with 1, but 1 is most recently used. Next 0 is also available. Okay, we have to replace 0 also, but 0 is most recently used. Again we have to 7 is there now, so 7 is the least recently used. Okay, so we have to check like that, the page which is least recently used, that page only we are going to replace. Okay, so these are the 3 page replacement algorithms. So next one is next topic is allocation of frames. Okay, so in this allocation of frames, each process needs minimum number of frames, whereas maximum of course is total frames in the system. So two major allocation schemes are there in this allocation of frames. First one is fixed allocation, next one is proportional allocation. In this fixed allocation, what will happen is equal allocation. For example, if there are 100 frames, after allocating frame for each for the OS and 5 process given, each process is 20 frames. Keep some as free frame buffer pool. Okay, here m is the total number of frames, n is the process. The formula is how we are going to allocate the fixed allocation is by using m by n. Okay, here m is 100, n is 5, that is 100 by 5. We have 20 frames. That means for n is the process, for n processes, that is 5 processes, we have 20 frames. M is the frames. Okay, 5 processes, 20 frames. Again, one more example, m is 93, n is 5. Okay, here what is the formula? M by n. So what is meant by n? N is the here 5 processes. How many frames are there? 93 frames are there. So 93 by 5, that is 18 frames. Okay, 18 frames for 5 process. Okay, here allocation is fixed, whereas in proportional allocation, here allocating according to the size of the process. Okay, according to the size of the process. Dynamic as degree of multiprogramming, process size changes. Okay, here SI, that is S1, that is size of process P1. S1 means size of process P1. S1 is nothing but size of process. Here two processes are there. Process P1, P1 size is S1, that is 10. P2 size is, that is S2 is 127. So capital S is nothing but sigma Si, that is nothing but capital S is nothing but S1 plus S2. Okay, so size of two processors, that is 100 plus 10 plus 127, that is 137. Here m is nothing but total number of frames. M is nothing but total number of frames. Okay, that is 64 is given. Here AI, that is allocation of P1, that is for a process P1 how many frames is needed, for process P2 how many frames is needed. Okay, here the formula is for AI allocation of Pi, that is for A1 it is nothing but allocation of P1. The formula is S1 by, that is S1 is nothing but 10 by for A1 for process P1. Okay, 10 by capital S means 137 into what is meant by M. So M is nothing but 64. 10 by 137 into 64, that is 5 frames. Okay, totally 5 frames. Allocation of P1 is 5. Next one is for process P2. Okay, for process P2, that is for A2. AI means second process na. A2 allocation of P2, process P2. For process P2 how many frames are needed means formula SI, that means SI means process, here SI means process P2 size, that is S2. SI means we are going to calculate the process P2 na, S2 equal to 127 by capital S is nothing but 137 into what is meant by M is total number of frames, that is 64. So we have 59. Okay, so in this way we are going to allocate number of frames to each process. Okay, so here process P1, size of process P1 is 10, size of process P2 is 127. For P1 for process P1 the allocation is 5, for process P2 the allocation is 59. Okay, so this is the proportional allocation. So it is nothing but allocation of frames. Okay, so next, whereas coming to next concept is thrashing. Okay, so what is meant by thrashing? It is a situation which is the very common phenomenon in virtual memory of operating system. We can say it is a situation if the systems start spending more time in paging instead of their execution. Simply we can say thrashing is a process is busy swapping pages in out. We can say it is a thrashing. For example, we have main memory and secondary memory. In the secondary, process stored in form of pages, and these pages based on demand swap in and swap out. Okay, process does not have enough pages for the execution, then page fault will occur, and it is very it is very high. Okay, so now this page fault will lead to certain problems such as low CPU utilization, and next one is OS needs to think that degree of multi-programming should be increased, at the same time another added to the system. These are the various problems of thrashing. Okay, so next one is memory mapped files. So what is meant by memory mapped files? We have process A and process B, and at the same time in the middle one we have physical memory, so disks. Okay, here memory mapped file IO allows a file IO to be treated as a routine memory access by mapping a disk block to a page in memory. At the same time, a file is initially read using demand paging. A page-sized portion of the file is read from the file system into a physical page. Subsequent read or write to or from the file are treated as ordinary memory access. Simplifies file access by treating file IO through memory rather than read write system calls. It also allows several processes to map the same file, allowing the pages in the memory to be shared. Okay, here in this process A we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. At the same time process B same 1 2 3 4 5 6. In physical memory we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 like this. So here disk file is mapped with corresponding physical memory page. Okay, here 1 is mapped with 1, again 2 is mapped with 2, 3 is mapped with 3. Okay, from disk to main memory. Okay, so it is the connection of process A, process B with main memory. Okay, at the same time how the secondary is mapped with primary, that is main memory, is corresponding pages, that is pages is linked with corresponding frame members. Okay, the page 1 is linked with first page, page 2 is linked with second page, like this. Page 6 in this disk means secondary, page 6 is linked with main memory, frame 6. Okay, these are the frames. Okay, so in this way we are going to implement the memory mapped files concept. Okay, so next concept is allocating kernel memory. So what is meant by allocating kernel memory? Okay, so here allocating kernel memory is nothing but just now we have studied in previous discussion, have centered on process memory, which can be conveniently broken up into page size chunks, and the only fragmentation that occurs is the average of page loss to internal fragmentation for each process. We can say segment. Okay, there are two strategies for managing the free memory that is assigned to the kernel process. So first one is Buddy system. Next we have one more thing is that is we can say slab allocation also. So in this Buddy system, what will happen is initially memory will be a single continuous free block. Okay, suppose we have a memory of 128 MB. Okay, initially 128 MB, it will be a single continuous free block. Whenever request by the process arises, the memory will be divided into two halves. That is, two halves means 64 MB, and at the same time one more 64 MB. If the request by the process is too small, then lower block of memory is further divided into again two blocks. That is, if it is 64 na, if a request of particular process is very less na, so here 64 is divided into 32. Why? Because here process P1 has size 18. Okay, so if we divide the 64 into two halves, there is no problem. Okay, so again we are going to divide into 64 as 32 and 32. Okay, suppose we have got a request by the process which want 18 MB of memory. So 18 is mucher than the 64, so it divides into two parts. Okay, in the Buddy system the memory will be allocated from lower block to higher block. Okay, so here first we are going to partition the lower block, again if needs we are going to allocate the partition the higher block. Okay, here now suppose a request arises of 17 MB, then allocate next upper block. Okay, 17 MB means next 32. Okay, next a process request block of 20. Okay, 20 memory. So upper block is going to be divided into two halves. That is 32 again 32. Okay. Here the arrangement is from lower to upper. Okay. First we have to fill the lower 32. Again the next 32, next 32, next 32. Okay. Depending upon the size of the process, we are going to divide the memory into number of blocks. The Buddhi system allocates memory from a fixed size segment consisting of physical continuous pages. Okay, so in this way we are going to allocate the memory for a particular process, okay, in this Buddhi system. Okay, whereas we have one more thing is that is slab allocation. We can say slab is one or more physically continuous pages. Cache, in this one, cache consists of one or more slabs, single cache for each unique kernel data structure. So a separate cache for data structure representing the process descriptor also in slab allocation, a separate cache for file objects, at the same time a separate cache for semaphore, each cache filled with objects, instantiation of the kernel data structure the cache presents. Okay, the slab allocation algorithm uses cache to store kernel objects. When a cache is created, a number of objects are allocated to the cache, initially marked as free. The number of objects in the cache depending on the size of the association slab. Okay, so in this way we are going to implement the slab allocation. Okay, we have kernel object, left side, right side slab, and in between we have caches. Okay, so these are the allocation of kernel techniques. The two strategies are Buddhi system and slab allocation. Okay, thank you.